Have any of y'all considered the idea that Caitlin Clark is not unhappy with her Nike deal? I always see all this unrest about Caitlin Clark and the status of her Nike deal, but I haven't heard anything from her, right? In fact, she wears their apparel. When she's golfing, she's wearing Nike stuff. During the season, she showed off the Kobe's that she was sporting. She has proudly been wearing the Nike gear. Not a peep from Caitlin Clark or her camp that there is an issue with that relationship. And Caitlin is just not the type, from what I've gathered, to want to promote herself. You know, she's in commercial, she's in the State Farm commercial, but that was the first one in a while. And it was a big deal because she was in it. It's not as if she's out there shouting from the mountaintops, look at me. That's just not her brand. That's not the way she conducts herself. It's not even the way she's managed her offseason. I mean, she's tried to become like a speaker of authority, right? So that is, I think, one of these things where the fans have probably ran with something that may not be there. Now, could you make the argument Nike hasn't done enough to push its perhaps best asset going forward? Sure. With the Rookie of the Year win and the speculation that they could be worried about blowback by promoting her too hard in lieu of other players. But we've seen success from Nike with the WNBA, with the Sabrinas, and those are great shoes. But there's, specific to Sabrina. We know Asia Wilson's shoes are coming. We also know Caitlin Clark's shoes are coming. And Nike had an earnings call. They haven't been doing great, but they had an earnings call. And this was a screenshot captured by correlation. And it says from the person speaking, what is really fun for me to see coming back, new to see, is these running these gender offense. We've launched a women's basketball program, which I didn't think we'd ever do. Sabrina, Matt already touched on it, number 2 shoe in the NBA. And then we have Asia and Caitlin coming back from behind, and behind that, sportswear, a new lineup, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. The speculation online was that meant 2026. There's no timeline specifically attached to that. But I'll say this. It takes a minute to take a idea from Genesis, put it together, get a model that's specific to Caitlin, that she approves, that they go through all the details, then manufacture it, and create the supply to meet up with the demand. That is not a process like that. So I always thought before next season would have been the absolute earliest. But I've seen timelines that indicate that's not even really feasible or reasonable. That 18 months is a bigger benchmark, 18 to 20. So all I would say is when it comes to the actual product, I would preach a little patience. And when they're talking about their earnings, look, this is their biggest bet to change that dynamic quickly, because this will be the most anticipated shoe release in a long, long time. And I'm sure the most purchased in a long, long time when they actually hit market. But in the meantime, Caitlin Clark got a bag from Nike that no other women's basketball player has ever come close to. And she seems completely content with the deal. So maybe, can relax a bit.